Hey, brother, we're on day 10 of being an integrated man, a man of integrity. We're taking our lessons this week out of the first 8 verses of the second chapter of Nehemiah. And today I want to ask you a question and challenge you, as Nehemiah had to face this question himself. What is the cost? What is the cost of discipleship? What is the cost of following your conviction? What is the cost of standing up for principle? What is the cost of taking your gifting to a new level and following God in obedience? And it seems to me that Jesus could have been thinking of Nehemiah when he gave this example, starting in Luke chapter 14, verse 28. He says, "For which of you desiring to build a tower does not first sit down and count the cost, whether he has enough to complete it? Otherwise, when he has laid a foundation and is not able to finish, all who see it begin to mock him, saying, 'This man began to build and was not able to finish.' Or what king, going out to encounter another king in war, will not sit down first and deliberate whether he's able with 10,000 to meet him who comes against him with 20,000? Jesus is talking about two basic things that Nehemiah had in his mind when the king said, "What are you requesting?" And Nehemiah came up with a plan, and he had already calculated the cost. It's obvious that he thought about the real world issues that were going on. So first of all, he asked for letters of passage, because the entourage that he was going to be leading wasn't just 2 or 3 people. It was hundreds of people, and they were passing through territories where they could be viewed as an attacking army. And he wanted letters of referral to those leaders saying, "Give these people safe passage." So he wasn't imagining that everybody would just be falling down before him and giving him his wishes. He knew he was riding into hostile territory and he needed protection. But the other thing he needed was resources. And so he asked the king for letters to Asaph. Well, who in the world is Asaph? Well, Asaph is the keeper of the king's forests. If you've been to the Middle East, you know that there aren't very many trees, and you're going to have to go to a forest somewhere and get trees for the beams to build that tower, to build those walls, and build the gates. And so Nehemiah obviously had done his research. He must have Googled somewhere and found the name Asaph, and he wanted a specific letter for the most difficult to procure resources in the land, which was timber. And so he was prepared. He had a plan. He had counted the cost, and he didn't know all that it would take him, but he knew he needed these things. And he was willing, because he knew the cost, to then step into it and invest himself. I want to challenge you today as a man who is integrated. Have you counted the cost? Maybe you don't know every single part of that cost, but you know it's going to cost you, and you know what the basic parameters are. Are you seeking those? Are you willing to go after them? Are you willing to ask for them? And are you willing to ask God to help you find them? What is the cost today for you to follow Jesus? What is the cost today for you to pursue the dream that God has given you and the prayer that you've been praying? I pray that as an integrated man, you will pay the price and count the cost and move forward. God bless you.